Assalamu alaikum. Dear students, how are you? Hope you are fine and enjoying good health. It is week 13 and we are going to cover lesson number 15 and 16, objectives to introduce and guide and train the students about the following concepts: outlines, types of outlines, outlines writing methods for scientific report, abstracts, informative abstracts, descriptive abstracts, and the executive summary. In the previous discussion for the week 12, we covered scientific report writing generally to specifically. There we covered that what is a scientific report, clear that a scientific report is a brief elaboration of a scientific subject matter, discussion, experiment, project with in specific, very smooth, condensed language. We also draw a difference between the problem statement and the thesis statement. We discussed upon the frequent challenges of the style, the writing, vocabulary, sentences, structures, adjustment of figures, table, little bit writing conclusions, and all the parts of report that it includes: title page, abstract, outlines, introductions, thesis or problem statement, writing about tools and technology, mechanisms and processes, background literature, conclusions, and much more. Well, coming to the point, what is an outline? Generally, an outline is a brief schema of writing a longer dissertation or a lengthy scientific subject matter. In short, we can say an outline is breaking up your very long, diverse scientific subject matter into the logical portions through very condensed graphic statements, that it becomes easier for us being as a writer to decide what to write, how much to write, and in what context, and in a specific format and structure to write, in specific flow to write in. Fine. This is called the outlines. Outline is also very useful for the reader, and you have seen that this outline appears as table of contents in the beginning of the books and even before research paper, other reports, that become a handy way to the readers to assess before they forge into the main area of the report, that what this report includes. And you have seen it, that in every chapter, when you open up a book and you find there is a preface, after the preface is the table of content, and in the table of contents given chapter number 1, clear, for example, introduction to automata, and what is that, and subheadings, what is automata, and scope of automata, clear. These are outlines. Fine. There are major outlines, main outline, and the sub outlines. We require a huge attention to design outlines. There are many ways and methods to construct outline. We will discuss in our next phase, but let's first read. The outlines represent the type of work that demonstrate particular hierarchical connections between components of the message or reveal the logical structure of the data. Some tasks with a large number of points require the solution to control and order details required for the topic. In argumentative essays, the outlines aid to organize the argumentation and rebuttal. In case of reflection, the solution helps to structure the thoughts that support the central idea. Finally, in creative writing, the outline is beneficial for tracking the events and plot lines. Meantime, there are several types of outline: alphanumeric, full sentence, and the decimal. Fine. The first two types serve the most common solutions for the essays. The only difference is that secondary category uses full sentences for each point. At the same time, decimal outlines are similar to alphanumeric. Well, this outline is applied in social sciences, in creative writing, essays, and others, but same thing, it is used in the scientific writing too. And I have drawn a difference long ago, that an essay or a report about the computer chips, both are similar in the writing world, yet the difference is that in a general essay we means focus on general point of view, we develop a general statement, and we also bring general arguments, whereas a scientific report is all about science, and we assess a scientific issue with very researched, objective, and to the point scientific data and information. That becomes scientific report. In short, they are also called report. Fine. So I hope that you have understood this. Here they have given the types of outline: alphanumeric, full sentence outline, and the decimal outlines. Students, you must understand that generally the methods of outlines are slightly different, and when these outlines have to be converted into table of contents, then they take another shape according to the style of outline writing. For example, APA style, IEEE style, Turabian, University of the Chicago. So in the world there are prevailing many report writing styles. There they provide you their own specific style of outlining and writing of table of contents. Hope you have understood. Let's move. The ways of are living require change alphanumeric outline. Well, before I uh, deep into this, let me give you some of the common methods of introduce you with some of the common methods of outline. There are outlines have to made on a scientific way. There are, for example, two methods are very important in report writing. One is called the methods of the rule of logic, clear, or the method of logic. Second is called the rule of arithmetic principle. You must know this, and you note it because I'm talking in the end of the video. Rule of logic, number one, the rule of arithmetic principles. Rule of logic is this, that being a writer, you are well aware of about the subject matter, and likewise you can yourself, basing on the nature of subject and need and purpose of report, plus the need of the audience or demand of the audience, can write your report. Let's, for example, you are writing a report on, let's suppose, robotics. Fine, you first write abstract, you write the word abstract, clear. Then the word is table of contents. Then the word is, for example, introduction. Then after introduction, problem statement, then history, then theory, then you develop methods to the outline. Current era of the robotics, differences, challenges. These all the words. This is a full route map that you first write this and then this and then this and then this. This is called, these words are the outline. Clear? Some person if needs to know that what have you designed, won't forge directly into the or dive into your middle of the report, rather would look into the outline, and it is easier for you. Once you have designed this schema, you can write accordingly, and it is much better to, or it is lot easier for a reader, that if he wishes to read your discussion, he can look at the outline and he will know that what is the point and at what page this point has been discussed, and whether he needs to read it or not. So outlines in precise is a schema that breaks up your longer discussion into logical and feasible phases. The word that represents that breakdown are called outlines. Outlines are of alphanumeric based on arithmetic principle. Fine, and they are easier and handy tool for both speaker, writer and the reader. Thank you very much.